Pokémon Horizons Episode 18 just stunned Japan, but why exactly is everyone going crazy about it? The week before the episode's release, Flying Pikachu Soaring High's writer Kureha Matsuzawa kicked up a stir with the following tweet. I have a request. It's my earnest wish that you will tune into episode 18 of the Pokémon anime next week. Whether you've never watched the show or you're not yet interested in Pokémon, I sincerely ask you to watch it. Thank you. Pokémon anime writers don't usually come out and tell us that the next week's episode is going to be a red-hot sizzler we simply must see, and as one Japanese fan put it, aren't they raising the bar way too high, saying it's not just for those who haven't watched the anime, but even for people who aren't interested in Pokemon? What kind of godly episode is this? What kind of godly episode indeed? Of course, the premise was always appealing, as we knew from the trailers that Flying Pikachu Soaring High would take us back in time to see how Captain Pikachu and Professor Fried first met, became friends, and founded the Rising Volt Tacklers, a missing piece of lore that has been tickling fans since November 2023. After all, although Liko and Roy are the stars of Pokémon Horizons, Fried is the badass big bro behind a lot of the anime's show-stopping moments, so who exactly he is and how he ended up soaring the skies with his sparky friend were questions that needed answering sooner or later. And beyond Fried and Cap's fateful meeting, the episode trailers also promised that we would learn more about younger Fried's connection to Liko's mother Luca, the origins of the Brave Asagi, the beginning of the Rising Volt Tacklers, and the whole thing looked unusually cinematic for a weekly Pokémon episode. Well, the episode just dropped and what we got was feature film level audiovisual quality, the best world building we've seen in ages. And before we break the episode down, here's a taste of how Japanese fans have reacted to the big 1-8. Oh my god, the Pokémon anime, that was incredible. This moved me to the extent that I felt physically unwell. It was comparable to the final battles in past series. The animation was so incredible that I found myself snapping photos. It gave me the goosebumps. And little Liko was cute. I was truly touched, and Pikachu was so cool. The godly animation is at the level of a theatrical release. I understand the meaning behind the screenwriter saying, I really want you to watch it, please watch it. Both the animation and the content were very rich. Truly a godly episode. Etc, etc, etc. Basically, Japanese fans were taken aback at the quality of episode 18. And while it wasn't exactly a tearjerker or a fist pumper, it did live up to the hype for other reasons, so let's dig in and discuss what made the episode tick. The gist of Soaring Pikachu Flying High is that Liko, Roy, and Dot are discussing how Captain Pikachu practically flies in battle, which leads them to become curious about how Captain Pikachu and Professor Fried first met. And after collecting information from the other crew members and pulling the strings that matter, Liko, Roy, and Dot finally get Fried to spill the beans about his relationship with Cap. As it turns out, several years ago, Fried quit his job as a company researcher to spend his days fishing and chilling out on the boat of his former schoolteacher Ludlow, until one day he got a call from another of his former teachers, Luca, aka Liko's mother, who arranged to meet up with him at the Treasure Eatery. Yes, that Treasure Eatery. Since their days at school together, Luca had gotten married, moved to Paldea, and had a child. And she found herself curious as to why the self-styled genius Pokemon Professor Fried had ended up quitting his job to bum around catching fish. And in what is probably the most relatable answer ever, Fried explains that being cooped up in an office simply wasn't his thing, and that he was very much enjoying taking it easy these days. Luca realizes that the guy obviously needs a jolt of inspiration to get his buns back on track, and offers to introduce him to someone special the following morning, a very unusual Pikachu living by the sea. When Luca and Fried arrive at the seashore, Fried is skeptical that he will learn anything interesting since he quote-unquote already knows all there is to know about Pikachus. But his eyes light up when he sees this particular Pikachu do something totally insane. Trigger a tornado that carries it dozens of meters above the ground. Apparently this Pikachu trains hard to fly at dawn each day, and Fried is eager to find out how and why. Unfortunately, as the days drag on, Pikachu rejects Fried's hands of friendship with a combination of headbutts and electrocution, which sounds very familiar. And while Fried does nail down the how, he cannot figure out why Pikachu pushes itself to such heights, literally. But Fried doesn't give up on either the pursuit of friendship or his research, and one day at the crack of dawn, he decides to mount Charizard, pursue Pikachu up the Volt Tackle Vortex high into the sky, and he sees a sight that drops his jaw. A truly stunning panoramic view of land, sea, and sky lit up in the magic of dawn's first light. Suddenly, Fried understands why Pikachu strives to do the impossible on a daily basis, rescues the mouse before he falls to an untimely demise, and before we know it, the two become fast friends. Pikachu's simple desire to see the best scenery the world has to offer was refreshing, fun, and really meaningful. Because beyond big goals and chasing dreams, there is nothing that beats the raw beauty and simple pleasures of the natural world, especially when you can experience them together with friends or family. And to bend that desire into an even grander adventure, Freed acquires the Asagi fishing boat from Ludlow and travels to Hoenn to have it renovated into a world-class airship by his master mechanic childhood friend. Basically, Orla is a genius, everyone loves her, and instead of receiving payment for her labor, Orla asks Freed to take her with him. Just like that, the voyage of the Rising Volt Tacklers begins. Now we understand how Liko's mom and Freed are connected, how Freed and Cap became friends, how Freed's passion for adventure was sparked, how the brave Asagi was created, how the Rising Volt Tacklers were formed, and how a group of friends gave up the ordinary for the truly extraordinary. Flying Pikachu Soaring High didn't feature any epic battles or fake deaths, or even a big old smoocheroo, but the rich feel and sky-high production value place it among the best Pokemon episodes of recent years. And of course, the most unexpected, stunning thing about it was just how good it looks and sounds compared to just about every episode in the history of the anime. From the breathtaking ascent into the seaside sky at dawn, to the sheer number of frames in the airship construction scene, to the rich background music and sound effects. It was hard to believe that this is just a weekly episode in the Pokemon anime. In fact, it almost feels as if they were working on set pieces for a feature film that ended up getting cancelled and decided to condense the plot into a single episode. After all, it's been nearly 3 years since the last Pokemon movie, Pokemon Coco, came out. Episode 18's script could easily be expanded into a 90-minute movie focused on the formation and early adventures of the Rising Volt Tacklers, and this would be the perfect time to drop such an origin story, given that Pokemon Horizons is building its brand from the ground up in 2023. Of course, it is possible that the team simply wanted to create a cinematic episode to sharpen their skills and have talent ready for the day that a new feature film is finally in the works. But I still can't help wondering if Flying Pikachu Soaring High was really meant to be Pokemon Movie 24, the story of the Rising Volt Tacklers, given just how little sense it makes to pour so much budget into a single weekly episode. Either way, it is a banger episode worth experiencing for yourself, an episode that reminds us of just how fresh and fun the Pokemon anime can be even after 26 years on air, of the exhilarating peaks Pokemon Horizons can reach even without Ashy Boy at the helm, and an episode with a lot of yummy berries. And I will be dropping plenty more Pokemon Horizons videos on my second channel, a channel that gives you a better look at juicy anime nuggets and otaku culture in Japan, where we discuss everything from Monster Energy trying to sue Pokemon, to Japanese fan reactions to the One Piece live-action anime, to Japan's genius model kit breakthroughs. So please subscribe to help us soar to the big 1000, and I'll see you there.